Welcome back, viewers. Please, I want to quickly give an information which is very crucial and is very, very important to migrants and people living in Italy. To please, such news that says Italy has lifted the ban and there is free movement. According to the reaction from the interview which Giuseppe Conte had with BBC, he said this ban cannot just be lifted now at once, which was slated for 13th of April. He said we are looking at the end of the month. According to him, he's not too sure because he doesn't want to put his people in danger. Please, anybody sending to you that we cannot go get a free movement in Italy, please disregard that information. It was not announced. And also try and listen to this video, and also it will give you a more reason to be compassionate for people, neighbors around you.
Experts are confirming that the curve is starting to decline and stabilize. The number of infections is decreasing. We're confident that if we continue this way, we will overcome the worst phase. But we cannot lower our guard. We cannot go from a lockdown to liberalizing all economic activity. We need to do it gradually.
When will the easing of restrictions begin?
It's likely that if scientists confirm it, we might begin to relax some measures already by the end of this month.
Do you regret being too slow to have implemented a full lockdown, despite the fact that politicians in Lombardy, Chinese officials were advising it? Your critics would say you didn't listen to them.
Guardi, la perfezione non è di questo mondo.
Look, perfection doesn't exist in this world. I'm not so arrogant as to think that the Italian government was perfect. But going back, I would do the same again, and I'll tell you why. We have a completely different system from China. For us, to severely limit constitutional freedoms was a critical decision that we had to consider very carefully. If I had suggested a lockdown or a restriction of constitutional rights at the beginning, when there were the first clusters, people would have taken me for a madman.
But on the 25th of February, you said Italy is a safe country, maybe safer than others. Your foreign minister, 3 days later, said misleading information was doing more harm than the virus itself. Do you regret using language that some would say underestimated the severity of this crisis?
You won't find any statement from me that shows that I underestimated this emergency. We cannot be blamed for the fact that there was an outbreak within the country and we discovered it. Italy has always adopted measures highly effective and always timely.
Italy is at the moment performing roughly double the number of daily tests than the United Kingdom. What advice would you give Britain at the moment about testing?
First of all, let me send my sympathy to my friend Boris Johnson and to tell him,
don't give up, Boris.
for sure, performing tests means trying to bring the situation more under control. Without testing, it would mean having to cope with it in the dark.
The latest economic forecasts suggest that Italy's economy could contract by over 11%. Debt will soar. Italians will struggle to put food on the table. Italy is facing an economic collapse from this, isn't it?
Stiamo ragionando di un'emergenza.
Of course, we're talking of something that started as a health emergency but quickly turned into an economic and social emergency. It's testing the economic structure of Italy and other countries in Europe and the world. That's why we need an economic and social response at the European level.
Does Italy feel let down by the EU?
È una grande sfida.
It's a big challenge to the existence of Europe and to the history of Europe. We're not just writing pages in the books of economics, we're writing pages in history books. This is a big appointment with history and we cannot miss it. Myself and other European leaders need to rise to the challenge. And there's no doubt that if our response isn't strong and unified, if Europe fails to come up with a monetary and financial policy adequate for the biggest challenge since the Second World War, for sure, not only Italians, but European citizens will be deeply disappointed. I feel pain for the gaping wound which Italians are enduring. It's a pain that's always with me because they're astonishing numbers. But behind the numbers are names and surnames, life stories, stories of broken families, and this causes me deep sadness. The Italian nation is suffering.
We don't have no way to have money. No.
I bambini hanno fame. Stiamo affondando.
If you don't have, please take. If you have, please give.
This virus is
A lot of us will be expecting our bonus now in our accounts, counting from yesterday, which was the 10th of April, as supposedly announced by Italy. Please be notified. Go back to INPS portal and check. The 600 bonus has been suspended. Only the people with pension funds can receive their own now. Please go to INPS portal, type INPS, and then it will take you to INPS portal. Please ensure that you get informed. The bonus has been shifted, it has been suspended. Endeavor to always look back and come back to our channels for more news, recent news, and concrete, reliable news. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also click the notification to be notified once there is a new information to debug for you. Thank you, and please, that cheerful love, sharing of love and happiness with neighbors and every loved ones, please, it shouldn't be just for Italians alone. All over the world, wherever you're watching us from, €5, €10, $30, $20, whatever denomination of money you use, please endeavor to help somebody and save it. So don't forget, God loves us, and keep safe and stay safe.